of solutions, a myriad of small businesses. I mean, even with the economy being on the decline, there's so much opportunity. That's one thing the economy has provided, the bad economy, right? People have been laid off, so it's given them the opportunity to start new businesses or start doing things, that they would not have been able to do because they were employed, and that was, how they made their main income. So what is your advice or your tips for small businesses that want to remain solvent in tough economic times such as these? Do you have any tips for them?
It's tough.
Okay.
It's tough. If somebody's already in business and they're running a small to mid-sized business, believe me, I understand because I run more than one business in my industry, and our clients typically own businesses. They are that small to mid-range business owner in many cases, and we see the horror stories all the time. We've seen them go through rounds of layoffs and things like that within their own companies. They have to sort of go back to basics, as they say. For one thing, they have to go back and really look at, previously when times were good and money was flowing, it was easy to get involved in expenses that maybe, weren't necessary and now would appear extravagant, so they can cut back a lot of places, trim the fat, so to speak.
Right.
And that's one opportunity. Another one is the concept of looking for additional markets or looking for sort of more non-traditional ways to sell their products and services. Now that may be, may take them hiring a consultant or hiring a coach or somebody who can help sort of, you get so caught up in what you're doing day to day that you can't see the forest for the trees.
Right.
And they get used to selling their product and their service in a certain way to a certain group of people.
That's true.
And, with a minor tweak, a lot of times you can open up an entirely new market. And we've seen clients do that.
Wow. So tell us about your clientele at Jagen Funds. I'm sure it's probably a variety. What do your clients look like? Are they mostly small business owners or extremely wealthy people? I mean, what does it look like for you?
Well, Jagen is really a unique company and a unique solution. It was actually an outgrowth of my traditional planning practice. So my traditional planning practice, we have, again, mostly business owners, some retirees who have transitioned out of owning their business or working for their companies. And so those folks have all the traditional planning needs, everything from retirement income solutions to business transition, how do they get out of their business, and the estate planning and so forth. Jagen Funds were actually designed as a tax solution along the way. So we saw this problem that people were running into over and over again, and we said, well, let's work on that. Let's build a strategy for that. So it's something we started back in 2007. We have a team of 5 lawyers from all over the country put together to do all the research work, and we spent about 2 years doing nothing but research work. We didn't bring a product or a solution to market. We just went, sort of into bunker mode and tore the tax code apart and studied these types of cases, so that we were able to roll out this year with the final result. And essentially, it's Jagen Funds are privately owned. They look and feel like a privately owned mutual fund.
Wow.
So we take a limited number of clients per fund, and then we close it. We don't take any new dollars after that. And the fund design is such that we get access to some of the top institutional money managers in the country. We get access to portfolios that normally only pension funds and endowment funds with $20, $50, $100 million to, could get access to. And we're able to bring that at a much smaller level to clients who now can get access to things that normally pension funds get. They don't get.
Okay.
But the design of the funds is also such that we get a difference between the net asset value the client has in the fund and what they call the fair market value. And it's usually about a 30% difference. And fair market value will be less. So they might have $100,000 in the fund, for example, but the fair market value might only be $70,000. And the reason that's important is because that's the tax reporting number.
Wow.
So that client we talked about doing the Roth conversion, for example, if he converts his $100,000 traditional IRA, he's got $100,000 of taxable income to report. Wow. If his traditional IRA owns our funds, he only has $70,000 of taxable income to report. So we've knocked his tax bill down by about 30%. So
Jagen Funds helps accredited investors or your clients create tax-advantaged wealth-building strategies, basically.
That's right. We're essentially an investment vehicle that gives them access to some really great stuff on the investment side and some good investment advantages, but the design is such that they can use it to save on the tax side as well.
Well, I love what your bio said, and Joe, in the green room, you and I were talking back and forth. You have a wonderful personality, great sense of humor. I thought this was funny. It says Mr. Luby's primary focus is the arena of wealth management and preservation strategies. I love that. Now tell us, what do you think you'd be doing if you weren't doing what you're doing right now?
Fishing.
I mean, for a living. You'd be fishing for a living?
I'd be fishing for a living. If I could figure out how to do that, I'm see ya. No, I love what I do, but that's what I'm doing when I'm not working.
Okay. Well, tell us, how can people get in touch with you or find out more about you? Or if they have questions, are they allowed to call? I know you spoke about, you guys get a certain number and then close that fund. You don't accept any more dollars after that. How can they find out more about you?
Sure. They can go online to jagenfunds.com. That's probably the best and quickest way, and then all of our other contact information is there. They can call in and they can email in, and all that's available right there. And there's a ton of information on the site, so they can, paw around on there and do some homework and do some research, and then call with specific questions.
I think a lot of people, just regular people like me, not you, think that certified financial planners or investment advisors, that you all aren't real people, and that you all are rich and, you don't have any problems, and so you can't really identify with what they go through day to day. What do you feel about that assessment? Is that true?
No, not at all. We're just like everybody else, and usually we eat our own cooking. So
okay.
Whatever whatever types of strategies and investment portfolios we build and advise to clients, most of the time we're doing the exact same thing. Or if anything, we're further behind because the cobbler's kids have no shoes, as they say. So our planning comes last, and then. But no, we have the same challenges everybody else has. We just luckily have some tools to address them with.
Now, some people out there, of course, don't feel like they, need a financial advisor. It's almost like saying, I don't need a doctor. Would you agree? I mean, if you're sick and you need medical help, it would be wise to seek a medical professional, because this is what they do all day, every day. They've been trained. Do you feel sort of the same way when it comes to financial planning and investment advising?
Well, I mean, we actually have clients who are in our industry. Because there's a whole lot of specialties and a lot of focus. You can have a client who, they might be an excellent money manager. They might be a very, very good investment advisor from how they build portfolios and how they generate performance for clients, but they have no clue on the tax side of things.
Wow, I never thought about it that way.
And that's there's always moving targets, because the tax code changes almost, weekly.
I was going to say every minute.
Yeah, exactly. There's always something changing, whether it be the actual tax code itself changing because of a law change, or just a new case comes out or something that gives a new twist on things. So there's so much to stay on top of that it's almost impossible. If somebody has such a very intense specialty in one area, they're not able to be as comprehensive in the other fields. So you need to have a quarterback. You need to have somebody who is looking at everything. And even if they might have a specialty in one particular sector, but they have a team of other allied professionals, either in-house or through a network, that when they come to the table, everything is covered. But you've got that one quarterback position, that one sort of central person to go to, who has all the information in-house and who can make those calls for you and get the right people involved.
Well, Joe, we are super excited that you were able to come out to Metro Magazine, and I know you helped people. You told us things that we did not know, so we're grateful for that. And again, you are a certified financial planner professional and the president of Financial Solutions Incorporated. You're here with your company, Jagen Funds, in the D.C. area just for a short time, so we're grateful for that. If you don't mind, one more again, giving your contact information and where Metro Magazine viewers can go to find out more about you or how to reach you.
Certainly. Again, it's jagenfunds.com, and everything is there, our phone number, our address. You can call us up and send us an email, and we'd be happy to chat and answer any questions they might have.
All right. Well, great. Well, thank you so much for stopping on by.
Thanks for having me.